Karibu sana mtazamaji wetu wa Godliness TV. Here is where we talk about everything and anything. We appreciate everyone who is joining us today, and we really love to see you joining us and leaving us your comments here. On the stage, hapa tuko na Reverend Mohoro, and he is ready in studio, ready to answer all those farming questions that you have regarding farming. And we welcome you so much, Bishop Mohoro. My name is Ann Mso. Kaa tayari kuengage na kuinteract. Uliza maswali kama venye unaweza taka kujibiwa na our bishop here, and he is ready and willing to ask. We will just dive into our show right now. Bishop Mohoro, kindly unaweza wasalimia, uambie wiki yako ilikuwaje since tuachane. How was everything?
Wow, it has been good, and we thank God for that. And I would like to greet everyone who is seeing us now and them that are hearing us. And we say it is God who gives times like this one, that we can be together again. I say we are together with you, we are together with many others who are seeing us, and we want to discuss this important subject of farming.
Yeah.
And maybe I start by my name. As you have heard, I'm Bishop Nathan Mohoro from Nyeri, Othaya. And I'm a Christian. I thank God of salvation. And I'm also in a church, because it's good to be in a church.
Yeah.
My church is Foursquare Gospel Church. And Archbishop Erastus Joroge Munyori. And we work together in this. So I have asked him that I mention what we are doing in his church. We have started this program in the church where we are helping farmers. And I'm happy that I'm going to help farmers now in a broader way, because them that are watching us will be able to get it. And as you have heard from Anne, you can ask questions, you can ask clarification, because sometimes we might be too hasty in some areas. I'd like to get more information.
Thank you so much, and welcome once again here on Godliness TV. We appreciate even you being here. We appreciate so much. So we will dive right into our question. Our first question is asking, how is farming related to godliness? When we talk about farming, and you people are just wondering, these people are just talking about farming. They don't know how is it related to godliness, given that you are here. You say that you are a bishop. How can we relate it to godliness?
This is something that have come up after I've done some preaching. And it came up because we have people that we are preaching to who need to eat, who need wealth. And in our country, Kenya, wealth is got from farming. Well, for everyone, food is got from farming. And it's God who created us. And after creation, He told us to multiply and fill the earth. And when we multiply, we have big population, we need to feed those people. So we see God's concern to His creation by giving them food. And that's why the first man, Adam, and his wife Eve, were put in a garden. This we see in the book of Genesis 2, verse 15. Can you read for us so that we get this?
In the book of Genesis, verse 2, verse
chapter 2, verse
chapter
15.
2, Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. It says, "And the Lord took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it."
Yes.
In English, maybe we can read it in Swahili.
Yes,
also.
for them.
In Swahili, it also says, Bwana Mungu akamtua huyo mtu akamweka katika bustani ya Edeni, alime na kuitunza.
This is the man God created, the first man God created. He had to put him in a farm so that he gets his food. And he said two things that are very important. Utilize the farm and take care of it. Or till the land and take care of it. To utilize means you use it now to produce your crop. And as you do this, you should also put good care on the farm. Without that care, it means the farm might be destroyed by the agents of destruction. There are many, we are going to mention them in the course of our talk.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is God's business. It's the God's first business that man should farm. And we see it later in other scriptures where God likens farming to having a vineyard. In the book of, it is written in the book of Mark, I think 12 from verse 1 to 9, where Jesus is talking about a vineyard that have been given to man, and it is fenced and it is cultivated very well, and there is even wine press to produce the wine from the products of the farm. Meaning that we should treat our farms like a vineyard, ready to get production from it and even to use whatever we harvest from there. And one thing that is said about that vineyard is that it was fenced so that there will be no destruction from outside, no thieves, no other things that can destroy. So we see it God's business because it was in his mind all through. And you cannot separate farming from God. And in the profession of food, Jesus was very much concerned about feeding people. When he was preaching, one time he had to feed thousands of people from little food. And that food, without that food, people would not have listened or heeded the word that he was preaching. And me as a preacher, I also found out that I cannot preach to hungry people because they'll go out and look for food outside what I'm preaching. So I see farming going together with God. And that's why personally I have frontiered and I've come out to tell my people, you must work, you must farm. In Kenya here, we must farm that we may get wealth.
Okay, we find that there's someone asking, you say that farming is related to God. How is farming related to godliness in your own words? Because you said you find a vineyard in everything, like God is there. And like he, as we've read in the Bible, like he made man and he put him in the Garden of Eden to take care of that. Now, how does that relate in godliness?
When we see the concern, the love of God to man, he doesn't want to leave him hungry. That's why he is putting him in the farm. And God knows that this farm can get destroyed with the time. So he tells the same man, as you get your food, as you get your wealth out of this farm, also take care of the farm. God was aware of the things that might destroy that farm. So the relationship is that God wanted man to work for his food. There is this issue where the children of Israel were on their way to Canaan land out of Egypt when they were being delivered from slavery. Mungu aliona wakati wako kujiani watapata njaa. Alafu alikuwa anawawekea maana kutoka biguni, kutoka bingu inateremka kwao. Lakini when Joshua entered with the Israelites into the promised land, God commanded that those people be given land so that they start producing food for themselves. So God wants man to work for his needs, and that's why he is giving him a farm. I don't know whether I've answered that question well.
Yeah, you have. Thank you so much. And now, as we continue, you say that farming is related to godliness. But now, when it comes to people, us as individuals, how can someone be honest when it comes to farming related to godliness? You know, it comes with so much challenges. How can we put honesty in that?
What God requires of each one of us is faithfulness. Because if we are not faithful in what God has given us, it means we will get away from what God expects from us. And we have failed very much in faithfulness. And in that way, we have lost the divine profession of God to man in terms of wisdom and in terms of protection because we see now man moving away from producing what is being gotten from farm insufficiency and in the required amount. So we see, I think I get your question right in that we are supposed to practice faithfulness. And out of faithfulness, God will be pleased to see us doing right and continue blessing us in whatever we are doing. But unfortunately, and man have failed in being faithful. And out of that, we see the destruction that we have now in what God meant to be good for us. We see now farming is hated. It is not, it seems like a very low rated job. Young people like you don't want to see yourselves in the farm because you don't like the way your fathers and other people live.
Yeah.
But farming is God's business. I repeat again, and I feel good to say that.
Okay.
Mm.
If you insist on that, so how are we supposed to care for the land? How are we supposed to put ourselves, given that I am a Gen Z, not only me, people around there,
Mhm.
they are afraid to do these things because you find that maybe it's too dirty, you don't want to get dirty.
Mhm.
Maybe you find there is no profit. Sometimes,
Mhm.
especially if you're a Gen Z, you're being told do farming. You will ask the question that will follow is, what sort of profit I'm going to make on
Yeah.
that? So, how can we care for the land to be
Mhm.
able to utilize ourselves?
When somebody tells you to be careful, he is seeing danger. So he's setting a warning. God kind of foresaw danger that will occur in the good gift he has given to man. So he said, take care of the land. And today we see our land have been destroyed in many ways. I'm going to say more of it later. But we see one thing that man have done is cutting down trees. And cutting down trees is not only on the farm, even in the forests. That have reduced rainfall. And that for that reason, we have what we call drought. And this drought now makes us have some times of famine, not having sufficient food. The other thing, and I feel to say, I mentioned this last time, we have lost soil infertility. And there are two things that take our soil fertility, and hizo ni mvua nyingi kama ile inanyesha wakati huu, and the wind that blows. Because those two, when the water flows on the soil and the wind blows on the soil, if the soil is not well covered, is not well protected, it will easily go away. And that soil that is taken away is the fertile soil of the land. So we need to protect our land from that. Then we have poor inputs. We are not very careful with whatever we put in the farm. We use little knowledge, like we see it in using fertilizers that are not very good. Some have bad side effects, and we don't take care of those side effects. We have bad seeds that farmers are using. And we also have poor marketing. I said last time, and I want to connect this talk with what I said last time, that before you produce, ask yourself, where am I going to sell that product? If you don't have a market for that product, it means you are not going to get money out of it. And as you have said, if there's no profit, if there is no money, then you young people, you'll not be interested in this kind of farming. The other one is we have governance. Let me mention, government is very important in our farming. And the government should do two things, protect and promote farming. No, we don't want to be given subsidies. We don't want to be given food when we don't have food. Let us be protected so that we don't have bad people bringing us bad inputs, and we don't have those same bad people taking away our produce at very cheap prices so that we don't make anything. We want to promote the good that we are having. Like I like the way we are now able to talk to many people through this media. It's out of government protection and allowing this to happen. And it should allow it. We also have exhibition shows where farmers take their produce to show that they can produce. Like now we have one that is coming very near here at Waruhio Farmers Training Center to be there on Friday and Saturday. Farmers will see what is there. And we thank government for keeping peace and allowing that to happen. So governance is also very important. Governance is also very important. And we are saying farmers need to be very careful when they're electing their leaders so that they have the government that can help them. I like what our president said the other day, that we let the government work. And at the end of their period of leadership, when you have new elections, they will show us the papers of what they have done. So if they have not helped the farmers, farmers are not going to vote for some of those leaders who have not done that. So we have to, we need to see those things that are destroying our farming. Because you Gen Z, let me finish with this. What you observe now is bad farming because those things have destroyed the good that we had. And you cannot be attracted. And many others are not being attracted. And some of us are there because we have nowhere else to go. I've seen people who leaving their farms, good farms, going to be employed in Nairobi and other places as workmen, as casual laborers, very little money when their farms have growth in it.
That's right. Okay, so that's really bold. So how are we supposed? How can we ensure that we have a fair treatment when it comes to this?
Now, for this matter now, I said things are bad at the moment, and we just need to come together and reason out how should it be. I quote Isaiah 1 verse 18. Can you read it for us?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 1,
Chapter 1 verse 18.
verse 18. So it says, "Come now and let us reason together, says the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Though your sins be as scarlet, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool."
This is God calling us, telling us, come and we'll reason together. We find out who has failed. Is it man or is it God? Is it me who gave you the land or it is you who is failing? I told you to take care. How much care have you taken? And so now I said, for us now to come together, I told you we have an organization, and I say it again, called Kenya National Farmers Union. You listen to those words carefully. It is saying simply farmers coming together in that organization. When they are together, then it's a matter of asking ourselves, where have we gone wrong? And we also ask God, God, where do we have drought? Why are we not having the rain that we used to have? And God will simply tell us, you are the people who cut my trees. Return them. And that's why we are here forestating. Tunaweka miti ingine sasa kwa forest. Hiyo ni hatua mzuri sana. So that we have normal climate. So reasoning together is very important. And the other thing that we are going to do or we are trying to think about is using our minds. I said the other day that what God did not create, what He did not make for us that time was creating the world. He put it in our heads. But unfortunately, we never sit down to think and ask ourselves, where are we going wrong? How should we put things right? And out of that, then we are not using our brains that are so rich with the issues. Why do I say that our brains are very rich? It is because from those brains, we have some people who have come up with the saying we can farm in a godly way. And they are saying various things that I'm going to mention to you. There are people who have come with organic fertilizer so that we get away from excess use of chemicals in our farms. If we put our minds together, God have put in our minds very good thoughts of what we can do. And Anne, I would like us to see how bad it is today. I want you to read Romans chapter 8 from verse 19. Romans 8, verses 19.
Okay. Okay. Before we read on that, is this one question that someone just asked before I reached there in that book? Is how are we supposed to take farming and treat it as to our workers? How are we supposed to consider it when it comes to our workers? Like, how can we appreciate them because they are laboring for it? And how can we show thanksgiving in that?
We have workers in our farms who are employed, and we need to do a fair deal with them so that when you pay them well, they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we don't only have that direct employment in the farm.
Mm-hmm.
We have what we call cottage industries that are placed near the farms, and people are employed indirectly when they work in those industries,
Mm-hmm.
where they're handling farm products as raw materials, like making ropes out of sisal, like milk processing to give us various products.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our employees. What I've seen is that we have paid those people poorly. And another very bad thing that has happened is that some people, some employers, have not given that pay in good time. And the word of God is against that. It says, if you have a servant working for you, make sure that you pay him fairly, daily pay. And the other area where we have failed in honesty is in the trading of our products. We use poor measurements that are not standard. Like if you go to places like Kinagop, the Aberdeen areas where they grow potatoes, the farmers there put their potatoes in bags that are too big even to be carried by one man. And that's still very unfair to that man who carries that very oversized package of potatoes. So there are many things we are unfair in. And as I've said, we need to come together and say, where are we not doing things right the way God would like it? So that God can bless us.
Okay, well, we come back to our reading in the book of Romans, verse 1, verse 22, right?
19 to 22.
1:19 or 19:22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Romans
1.
1:19,
Mm-hmm.
22. Okay. So it says, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shewed it unto them. Once again, I will repeat
No,
because.
go on.
Uh-huh. Okay, verse 20 says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world and clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made,
Oh,
even
are you sure you are in Romans?
Romans 1.
No, 8.
Oh,
Sorry, I can
sorry.
feel you are wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Romans 8,
Yes.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says, for the earnest expectation of culture waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. Verse 20,
Mm-hmm.
for the creature was made subject to the vanity, not willingly, but the reason for him who has it subject, the same in hope.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21, it says, because the creature itself also share to deliver from the bondage of corruption
Mm-hmm.
into the glorious liberty of the child of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for we know that
The
whole
whole.
creation
Yes.
garnereth and travaileth in pain together until now.
Hebu fika hapo
Mhm,
niseme verse 28 kwa Kiswahili.
mhm,
Kwa maana twajua ya kuwa hata sasa viumbe vyote vimekuwa vikilia
yeah,
kwa maumivu
mhm,
kama utungu wa mwanamke wakati wa kuzaa. Why is the creation of God crying? It is crying because it is in a very bad situation in terms of not having enough food, not having the favorable climate that it should be in. And this is out of man not doing things right. We read earlier that God is manifesting His goodness in people like you and me and others who want to take it, so that we can do things the way God wants them done. And the world is crying for such people to be born. Thank God we have Truth Wave here that is trying to preach this gospel. These are those that the creation is crying for people like us.
Maybe to cut on you short on
Mhm.
that, maybe you can tell them what is the spiritual meaning of farming. Maybe if you generalize everything and make them realize how should we go about it when it comes to spiritual matters, when it comes to farming.
When we think of it spiritually, we see God requiring us to be stewards. And you remember the parable of man being given talents. And he was told, go work out those talents so that they create a profit before, so that at the end of it, you do an account of it.
Yeah.
So every man should work. That's what God, and whenever you are given a day like this or any other time, do something for God.
Thank you so much. Just allow me to cut you short because
Yeah.
we are kind of out of time. But
I wish we had more time.
yeah, we will continue with this topic. Maybe you would like to add on before we finish, and maybe we can continue boldly with the next show. Maybe you can add the last thing, the last maybe comment you would like to tell them as maybe tell them as Kenyans. How can we relate this farming to godliness? Because people are frustrated out here. People don't know which way to follow. Where should they go? Where should they start?
Mhm. Well, one is that we have run short of time. I wish we had more time. But this show is telling you that we are there for you, farmers. Call us for detailed talk on this. And when we call you, please come because we'll be calling you in various forums. Come and listen to us. And whenever you have publications or times like this, when we talk to you, please listen and read those publications. We want to let the light shine that God has put in us because this is like a talent and God wants to see its fruits. We want to be accountable to God that we have done it right. So starting with you, I would say you have done it very well and you are doing it so that you can account it to God and tell God, I did my part. And here I am, I'm trying to do my best. And I like the support of the whole program from all the people who are doing it so that we do this at our best so that people will not say they did not see the light.
Yeah.
We are the light of this day and we want to tell farmers, let's come together. We have we have erred in many things, we have gone wrong in many things, but they can be corrected. Our God is merciful. He's a God of a second chance.
Thank
Yes.
you so much. Really appreciate for that amazing topic. Once again, we say welcome. Once again, we will talk about this topic is really bold, and we appreciate everyone who has been watching us and who has followed. My name was Ann So. I was your host, and we have Reverend Mohoro in the show. And we'll say till next time. See you then. Bye.
Bye.